Remember when I said I was going to try pantsing my novel for Nanowrimo? Remember when I was like, discovery writing, I've only done it, you know, a few times and it's so fun and so spontaneous, and thanks to my job and the fact that I write books for a living and ghostwrite, I have to outline and I just want to have fun and pants up, blah 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 blah. I talked about it a lot. Well, guess what happened? I outlined it. Okay, it's not fully outlined yet, but here's what happened. I really didn't mean to do this, but over the weekend I was doing some research and just brainstorming my story idea and having fun with it, and I thought about the fact that, you know, in a couple weeks I'm gonna start writing this draft, and I wasn't feeling as excited as I wanted to. And I realized it was because, well, I had a lot of fun world building ideas and a really fun premise to work with. I still wasn't sure where the story was going. All of the beats were like jumbled up in my mind. I have this issue, and tell me if this happens to you guys too. One of the reasons I think I like outlining and plotting so much is that sometimes when I get a story idea, I will mix up the catalyst and the midpoint. I will mix up certain beats. I will think that this is the inciting incident, but it actually happens way before the start of the novel, or it actually happens halfway through the novel, and the inciting incident is something that I hadn't considered. This happens to me a lot, and I don't like getting past that point in a draft and having that realization. This is why I plot things out in advance, right? So I was having that problem with this book. I had a bunch of different beats in mind, and I was like, but which one is the one that really like kicks things off and like sends her on this journey? I wasn't sure. So what happened was I decided to reread Save the Cat Writes a Novel, which I think like literally every single person on the AuthorTube has read and reviewed and maybe even used. I have used Save the Cat multiple times. I used it once to rewrite a messy first draft, and it worked beautifully. And I used it once last year to plot out a first draft, and it worked well for the first half, but the second half was really thin, which was not so much Save the Cat's fault as it was mine. I was really rushing through it, and I didn't really take the time to plot out all of the beats. I just kind of rushed to the end. Anyway, the point is that I love Save the Cat. I used it, Save the Cat, and while it hasn't always been my favorite plotting method, it's definitely one that I go to a lot. But here's the thing with Save the Cat Writes a Novel. More than almost any other plotting method book, that one, just reading it, sparks so many ideas for me. And I remembered that it's been a long time since I had opened the book, but I remember they have that after you go through like what the 15 beats are, there's a big section in the middle of the book where it breaks down 10 different genres. Not genres as in fantasy and science fiction, but like specific genres that are like, what type of hero do you have and what type of conflict do you have? Their genres include like, one's called Dude with a Problem. I think The Hunger Games falls into that category. One's Institution or something like that. Monster in the House. That was the one I used last year when I plotted and drafted a book. So I just wanted to read through all of those genres and see if I could identify which one my Nanowrimo novel was going to fall under, and maybe that would spark some more ideas. So I open the book and I go to the first section, and the very first genre is the why done it. I don't know if you can see that. Ooh, window reflection bad. The why done it. And like literally the moment I read this one, I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely the one that fits my novel. The cool thing about these genres is that they give you 3 ingredients that each of these genres need. And for the why done it, the 3 essential ingredients are a detective, a secret, and a dark turn. And they go on to give a lot more detail. It says, the detective of your story can truly be anyone. They must be wholly unprepared for what they're getting into, regardless of their job and or experience, and they must have a reason for being dragged into this mess. And then the second ingredient, the secret, is why we search for the truth to begin with. It's the heart of the why done it. It's what we find in the last dark room. It's not just the who and the why, it's the what, where, and when too. And this is actually one of the things that I definitely 100% know about this book for me. I know what that secret is. I know what that final thing is. And then finally, the last ingredient is the dark turn, the moment where the hero finds themselves so deep into the mystery that their own rules, morals, and our ethics are compromised. Definitely immediately knew what that was. This was a beat that has existed in my head for a while now. And yeah, this one just really spoke to me. I did flip through some of the other genres, and the one called Full Triumphant kind of clicked with me a little bit as well. Like, I could see this idea sliding into that genre a little bit. The 3 ingredients for that one are a fool, or someone overlooked by society and often naive to their own potential, an establishment that the fool is in some way pitted against, and a transmutation in which the hero becomes someone else, adopts a new name, or gets a new mission. I can definitely see that kind of being part of my book as well, but I really think the Why Done It is like hands down the genre. So that did give me a lot of ideas, and that kind of got things clicking. Here's the problem, and it's not really a problem, it's great. This is why Save the Cat Writes a Novel is such a great book. For each of these genres, they give you a beat sheet using a novel that is in that genre, and then they break it down and show you what the beats are. So the example for the Why Done It is The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins, a book that I really enjoyed. And I read through all of the beats, and I was remembering the story, and it was cool to see how all the beats line up. And then I started thinking, I kind of want to reread this book from the beginning and refresh myself on what the beats are, and maybe see if that sparks any more ideas. And yeah, before you know it, a few vlogs ago, I talked about how my brain is like revolting against my attempts to schedule things. Like, if I used to just lay my week out in my planner and I would know what I needed to get done every day, and lately my brain is like rejecting everything every day and doing something else instead. And it's not bothering me because everything's still getting done. It's just my brain is being a toddler at the moment, and I think that apparently applies here too, because the moment I committed to pantsing this novel, my brain was like, nope, because guess what I did after I did that? I freaking bought the Save the Cat software. Yep, behold my shame. I bought this software and I spent all day yesterday playing with it, and I have to say I really love it. It's got a place for your log line up here. All of the beats come already set up, and they remind you with instructions on what that beat actually is if you don't remember. It's really easy to move everything around, and I really love this area at the bottom here where you can just add random notes as they come to you, things that don't fit in your scenes just yet, but that you don't want to forget, and then you have really quick access to them. You can just scroll down and look. You can also, you know, only look at the board or just view whatever you want as large as you want. It's really pretty powerful software, and I haven't even scratched the surface of everything that it can do. Like, over here there's places for character sheets, locations, things. I don't even know what this is. Relationships. You can drag so much stuff on the board. Like, guys, it's kind of like Scrivener, where the first couple weeks you have it, it's almost overwhelming because it can do so many things, but you just eventually, I think, figure out, at least this is how it was for me in Scrivener, what features you want to use and which ones aren't important to you. Like, I'm sure I'm not going to use many of the features that this comes with, but I'm just really loving how I can see all of these messy ideas that were before just jumbled up together in one Word document, and I can see them all on this nice big board now. And it's helping to spark new ideas, not just when I'm working on it, but like that thing is happening, you know, that thing where you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't go back to sleep because you're like writing scenes or seeing scenes in your brain. Or I went for a run yesterday morning and I had a pretty serious epiphany about the main character and related to kind of the catalyst of the story and just her motivations in general. Before, I was just kind of having fun noodling around with the world and the premise, and now it really is turning into a story. And you know what, I think what it comes down to is that I wanted to try discovery writing because I love the spontaneity of it, of letting a story come out that way. But that's what this stage is for me. That's what plotting is for me. This is the spontaneous fun part. I just do it. This is the part of the process where I have my spontaneous fun. And some people have that fun while they're drafting, and then they do the plotting and the structure work afterwards. It's just flipping the order. I don't feel anymore like I'm missing out on something. I guess to sum it up, plotter's gonna plot. That's the lesson of today. So there you go. Have you tried Save the Cat? I feel like almost everybody has. Have you tried the software? If you do and you have any tips for me, or you just want to let me know what you thought of it, please let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this vlog. 15 days till Nanowrimo starts. I'm starting to feel a lot more prepared and a lot more excited about getting to work on this story. So I hope you guys are as well, and I will see you Monday with another video. Hope you have a great weekend. Bye.